Hey everybody, hope you guys enjoyed just the quick turnaround on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Donatello, and then just those two Orc heroes that I did, both the Savage Orc Shaman and the Savage Orc Boss. I am doing a table update today. I'll just mention real quick that the TMNT bust, or it's not a bust, but the figurine is a 3D printed sculpture that I did for my daughter, who's really into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so I told her if she wanted, I could just kind of put a matte finish on it, over that gloss, but she kind of liked the glossy look, which is kind of like a bit of a toy-like look, and it's kind of cool looking, and so she was happy with that, and so that was just a kind of a gift for her project that I painted up recently. And then also I got those two Orc heroes that I'd also kind of I put a matte finish on those after the gloss that I had. And so yeah, I just thought I would show those. What I've been working on recently this week is a couple different things as far as painting. This is work in progress, but I did just this morning work on the skin underneath. I still have to do like the spiders underneath that are on this thing, but it's mostly finished. It doesn't have the howdah that goes on top with the goblins, and I'll show that in a second. And that's what I'm working on next. I'm pretty happy with how this came out. I am going to spray this with a total gloss spray for two reasons. One, I'm liking the shiny look for the spider carapace, just because it seems appropriate for it to be kind of glossy. And two, I'm actually not gluing the howdah that comes with this on the top. Sometimes I may run it without it, and I just like to be able to just have it on separately. And so yeah, the gloss, for those of you guys, most of you guys probably know this, but gloss has a bit more of a better protection in my experience in most instances than matte. And so it's a bit of a heavier finish. And so it should be really good in resisting that howdah plastic pieces kind of going on the top repeatedly and being set on there. It is light, so I don't expect too much of a problem. But yeah, so that's that. I'm really quite happy with this. I like the color scheme. And so, move that away. I apologize for my desk today because I am doing a lot of stuff. Just so happens I use my desk also for a little bit of gaming. I don't do a lot of video gaming, but like my daughter's home from college right now. She's going away soon, but we do a couple of games on the PC, and so I'm having to use half my desk on the other side that I usually stage projects to be able to put snacks and hang out a bit and play some games. And so that means this side of the table, because of how busy I've been, is just filled with stuff. Another thing, well, this is the howdah. Now, I wanted to be able to also run the Goblin Shaman at times, who, weirdly enough, is not in front of me. Let me just grab him here. I've got the base over here, too, for the spider that I'm doing separately. This Goblin, this howdah has... I was a little terrified of this one, but it's really not too bad, but there is a lot of little gluing. The worst part of this is this chair. I ended up having to green stuff it on. The direction, I was looking up other people too, and they all were really frustrated with that piece of this kit, but I got it on. The way I'm doing it, because you can do it where there's a catapult on here, I'm not using the catapult on it. I will sometimes run a shaman, in which case I've magnetized this, and then I've got this shaman that kind of just goes on the front, which will be cool. It's a bit of an expensive piece, points-wise, to run a shaman on a spider, but a Ragnarok spider. But I got all these goblins here that I'll be painting. I'm going to start off this project by I think I'm just going to airbrush the whole thing a dark brown, so I can just kind of get all of that out of the way, like the first coating of brown for all the wood, and then I'm just going to go in individually and pick out each goblin and paint them up. But yeah, and I think it'll be cool with the feathers and things, kind of like my other Savages. I'm going with a bit of an orange and yellow feather scheme. In some cases white, but this should be fun. And so I'll get that done soon. I've been spending much more time on the Spider, although I've been doing a lot of building stuff lately, in addition to painting. I've been kind of busy. I showed in another video the unboxing of this, and I'm going to paint this separately, but I've got essentially my... he fits on here kind of nice, usually. I don't know why, if I just don't have him seated properly on here for some reason. But his saddle fits perfectly right there on here, but I think I just need to glue him down. But in any case, this is the assembled drag wyvern. I had a few comments in the last video when I asked, maybe 3 or 4, of what color I should do. There was actually not that many comments, but it was mostly the ones that were there. I think I had one green and traditional, and a couple others said red, either red or he would look good in red. So I'm not kind of decided yet which way I'm going to go on it. So I'm not sure. Thinking of the Orc and Goblin army, a lot of times you think of squigs as being red, and in some ways you may kind of just get jumbled in to the visual of the squigs if I do that. Then again, everything's green with orcs, and so that's kind of why I was thinking everything except the squigs. It seems to be green, and the trolls maybe. And that's kind of why I was thinking maybe it'd be nice to do a different color, because he'll definitely be green. He'll have at least his skin. So he's done too. He's really cool. These were a bit fiddly, these tusks on here. But, yeah, I did do some pinning on the dragon. A little bit, and I used epoxy, or the wyvern, I should say. I used some green stuff for this guy's shield. It's one of the old styles that just has a prong that goes around it. It didn't really match up well otherwise, but it's a very cool shield. So yeah, that's that. The other thing is I am dabbling a bit in the Nurgle stuff like I talked about, and I've just been working away at preparing these guys. Like I've got like Nurglings in the dip, and then I've got these guys. I just finished green stuffing where all the slatas are on the bases, because I had to do that for each one. And next I'm going to build up the bases a little bit. I'm going with a little bit of a different style for the Nurgle army for the painting than I normally do, and that includes the bases. I am going to do a goblin green rim. I think I'm going to do that for everything I do for fantasy, but rather than doing a goblin green sand and like kind of highlighting up with Averland Sunset and yellow over the goblin green, I'm just going to I'm going a little bit different. I'm planning on building up the base a bit with putty and doing a bit more of a disgusting base than with the goblin green on the bottom, just for the Nurgle. And then I'm going to probably do that also with the Nurglings as well and test it out on those. And I'm going to be doing a bit of a wet blending paint job, but there's 40 here, which is pretty cool. It's a sizable block for sure. And daemons are expensive, so they're a bit more resilient than some infantry, like standard infantry, and so from that perspective, they do present a pretty good anvil, but they are expensive. You pay for it, and so. All right, that's about it. I hope I kept this one kind of short. I can never know. It's usually always longer than I think it is. I hope everybody's having a good summer, and as it's coming to a close. And talk to you later.